we stick together and we can see it through, because you've got a friend in me.
Is that the song from Toy Story?
He loves that movie.
I do.
It's hard to believe that it has been 18 years since The Big Bang Theory first premiered, captivating audiences from 2007 to 2019. This iconic sitcom not only dominated television ratings but also transformed the depiction of geek culture in mainstream media. The series followed a group of socially awkward scientists and their neighbor, showcasing their authentic friendships amid life's ups and downs. Fans fondly remember memorable moments like Sheldon's unique chess games, the beloved girls' nights, and the ultimate pursuit of the Nobel Prize, which highlighted Sheldon's character growth. The show's dedication to accuracy in science and clever humor, combined with its quirky wardrobe choices and ritualistic food routines, helped solidify its place in television history. As we reflect on its legacy, it's clear that The Big Bang Theory still holds a special place in the hearts of many, embodying laughter, friendship, and the celebration of individuality. 18 years later, and we still miss these 20 things about The Big Bang Theory. Can you believe it's been 18 years since The Big Bang Theory first graced our television screens? From 2007 to 2019, this groundbreaking sitcom not only dominated ratings but also revolutionized how mainstream media portrays geek culture. What started as a simple show about four socially awkward scientists and their beautiful neighbor evolved into a cultural phenomenon that spoke to millions worldwide. Whether you were a die-hard fan from day one or discovered the show through reruns, there's no denying its lasting impact on television history. As we look back at this beloved series, let's count down 20 unforgettable elements that still make us laugh, cry, and occasionally want to shout bazinga. Remember when we first met this oddball bunch? Who would have thought that a group of socially awkward scientists and their street-smart neighbor would become one of TV's most iconic friend groups? The beauty of their friendship lay in its authenticity. These weren't perfect people trying to navigate life together, they were gloriously flawed individuals who accepted each other's quirks and celebrated their differences. From weekly dinner gatherings to epic paintball battles, every interaction showcased the deep bonds that developed over time. The way they supported each other through career changes, relationship drama, and personal growth reminded us that family isn't just about blood relations. Sometimes it's about the people who'll complain but still drive you to work every day. Chess wasn't just a game in The Big Bang Theory, it was a stage for some of the show's most memorable moments. First, there was the iconic Star Trek tridimensional chess set that stood proudly in the apartment, showing off the guy's love for both strategy and sci-fi. Watching Sheldon, played amazingly by Jim Parsons, meticulously explain the complex rules while moving pieces across multiple boards was like getting a masterclass in both chess and Star Trek lore. The way he treated each game as if the fate of the Federation hung in the balance never failed to make us laugh. Then there was Sheldon's ambitious creation, three-person chess. Only he could take a two-player game and transform it into something exponentially more complicated with that three-sided board with transitional quadrilateral to triangular tessellation. It was peak Sheldon Cooper, taking something already complex and making it even more Byzantine just because he could. But perhaps the most satisfying chess moment came when Penny, played by the lovely Kaylee Cuoco, who the guys often underestimated, absolutely demolished Leonard, embodied by Johnny Galecki, in a regular chess match. The look of shock on his face when she called checkmate was priceless. Oh, those legendary girls' nights. What started as simple wine evenings in Penny's apartment evolved into one of the show's most cherished traditions. These gatherings gave us a perfect window into the female friendships that became the heart of the series. And let's talk about Raj, Kunal Nair, the honorary girl of the group who brought his own special flair to these gatherings. Whether he was offering relationship advice or joining in on the gossip, Raj made these nights even more entertaining. He understood the sacred nature of girls' night better than any of the other guys ever could, but perhaps the most relatable moment was when the girls snuck into Bernadette's, played by Melissa Rauch, backyard, hiding in little Hallie's playhouse. There's something beautifully symbolic about three accomplished women, a pharmaceutical sales rep, a microbiologist, and a neurobiologist, finding solace in a pink plastic playhouse. These moments showed us that sometimes the best therapy is just escaping the chaos of adult life with your best friends, even if it means crouching in a children's playhouse with a bottle of wine. You know how some dreams just seem impossibly out of reach? Well, for Sheldon Cooper, the Nobel Prize wasn't just a dream, it was his destiny. From the very first season, we watched him pursue this goal with the kind of single-minded determination that only Sheldon could muster. What made this storyline so special wasn't just the achievement itself, but how it brought out different sides of every character along the way. The fact that this storyline culminated in the series finale made it even more perfect, giving us one of the most satisfying endings in sitcom history. Plus, who can forget Sheldon's Nobel acceptance speech? It was the perfect blend of his characteristic quirkiness and genuine emotional growth. Talk about a wardrobe that could make any geek envious. Sheldon's rotating collection of superhero logos, scientific references, and pop culture iconography wasn't just about fashion, it was practically its own character on the show. Each carefully chosen t-shirt offered a subtle commentary on the episode's events or Sheldon's mood, creating a fun game of spot the reference for attentive viewers. The Flash shirt seemed to make an appearance during particularly eventful episodes, while the Green Lantern shirt often showed up during times of change. What's even more impressive? The show's wardrobe department maintained incredible continuity with these shirts, creating a visual calendar of sorts throughout the series. Here's something that set The Big Bang Theory apart from every other sitcom on television: its dedication to getting the science right. Those white bards in the background? They weren't just random scribbles, they contained real equations and theories that actual scientists would use. The show employed David Salzberg, a UCLA physics professor, to ensure every scientific reference, joke, and discussion was accurate. Remember when Raj discovered that planetary object? The science behind it was real enough that astronomy students could understand the significance. Even the physics jokes, while sometimes going over our heads, were genuinely funny to those in the field. This attention to detail earned the show respect from the scientific community and inspired countless viewers to take an interest in science. If there was one thing you could set your watch by in The Big Bang Theory, it was the gang's incredibly specific food routines. Everything was meticulously planned according to Sheldon's rigid schedule: Thai food on Mondays, Cheesecake Factory on Tuesdays, pizza on Thursdays, Chinese food on Fridays, each meal from its. In The Big Bang Theory, memorable moments abound, particularly the iconic scene where Amy Bialik reveals that Indiana Jones plays no significant role in Raiders of the Lost Ark, leaving Sheldon speechless and his worldview shattered. The series also showcased the delightful complexity of characters like Bernadette, whose sweet demeanor masked a fierce side, and the unique friendship between Penny and Sheldon, which offered heartwarming and hilarious interactions. Academic rivalries, such as Sheldon's competition with Wil Wheaton and Barry Kripke, added to the show's humor. The gang's enduring food traditions provided a grounding force throughout their evolving lives, while the catchy theme song from Bare Naked Ladies became emblematic of the show's scientific and cultural blend. Raj's social anxiety and Howard's quirky belt buckles highlighted the series' comedic brilliance, and Penny's character development saw her transform from bewilderment to embracing the group's scientific discussions. Lastly, the broken elevator served as a perfect plot device, facilitating countless conversations and symbolizing the character's growth by the series finale. These elements collectively contributed to the show's enduring legacy and charm. Mayim Bialik did the impossible, leaving Sheldon Cooper speechless. While there were many such moments throughout the series, none quite compared to the legendary Raiders of the Lost Ark scene. Picture this: Sheldon, in his usual confident manner, discussing one of his favorite films, when Amy drops the mother of all plot observations, that Indiana Jones plays no significant role in the outcome of the movie. The beauty of this moment wasn't just in the perfect delivery of this mind-blowing revelation, but in watching Sheldon's face as his entire worldview crumbled before our eyes. You could practically see his brain short-circuiting as he processed this information. Oh, Bernadette, the tiny microbiologist with the voice of an angel and the fury of 1,000 suns. The brilliant contrast between her sweet, high-pitched speaking voice and her terrifying angry tone, which sounded suspiciously like Howard's mother, became one of the show's most delightful running gags. But it wasn't just about the voice, it was about how this seemingly innocent character could strike fear into the hearts of everyone around her while maintaining her cheerful demeanor. Remember how all of her colleagues were walking on eggshells around her? Or the time she told Penny, "I remember the first time I looked through a microscope and saw millions of tiny microorganisms. It was like a whole other universe. If I wanted to, I could wipe it out with my thumb like a god." Her scary side added layers to what could have been a one-dimensional character, making her one of the show's most complex and entertaining personalities. Talk about an unlikely friendship that became one of television's most endearing relationships. The dynamic between Penny and Sheldon was like watching a peculiar mix of best friends, siblings, and yes, sometimes a nanny with a brilliant but demanding child. Their relationship gave us some of the show's most heartwarming and hilarious moments. Remember when Penny had to sing Soft Kitty to sick Sheldon? Or how about when she was the only one who could help him pick out the perfect gift for Amy? What made their friendship so special was how it developed despite, or perhaps because of, their complete opposite natures. Penny's street smarts and emotional intelligence perfectly complemented Sheldon's book smarts and logical approach to life. She became the one person who could both tolerate his quirks and call him out on his behavior, often with just a well-timed eye roll or a sarcastic "Oh, sweetie." Their teaching moments went both ways too. While Penny helped Sheldon navigate social situations and emotional challenges, he inadvertently helped her gain confidence in her own intelligence and capabilities. If you thought academic rivalries were boring, you clearly never watched Sheldon Cooper face off against Will Wheaton, Barry Kripke, or Leslie Winkle. These intellectual feuds gave us some of the show's most hilarious and memorable moments. From professionally competitive moments in the university to personal vendettas played out in bowling alleys and comic book stores, each rivalry brought out different aspects of our favorite characters or daily rituals where life happened. Important announcements were made, relationships blossomed, fights erupted and were resolved, all over containers of dumplings, pizza boxes, or Thai curry. The food traditions became such a crucial part of their lives that even as relationships changed, careers evolved, and lives got more complicated, these shared meals remained a constant, grounding force in their friendship. Our whole universe was in a hot, dense state, admit it. You just started singing along in your head, didn't you? The Bare Naked Ladies created what might be the most scientifically accurate theme song in television history, and it became so much more than just a catchy tune. This rapid-fire journey from the Big Bang to the present day perfectly encapsulated the show's blend of scientific knowledge and pop culture appeal. What's particularly brilliant about the theme is how it became increasingly meaningful as the series progressed. Those final lines about the evolution of mankind took on new significance as we watched our favorite characters evolve throughout the series. The song was like a mini physics lesson wrapped in an earworm, and we wouldn't have it any other way. Let's talk about the times Amy Farrah Fowler, played by the iconic, talk about a character constraint that turned into comedy gold. Raj's inability to speak to women without alcohol didn't just create hilarious situations, it became a metaphor for social anxiety that many viewers could relate to. His creative workarounds and gradual progress toward overcoming this challenge gave us some of the show's most heartwarming moments. The way this condition evolved throughout the series, from a seemingly insurmountable obstacle to something he eventually conquered, showed remarkable sensitivity to mental health issues while never losing its comedic touch. Plus, those early scenes where he could suddenly talk after a drink? Pure sitcom brilliance. Were there ever more expressive accessories on television? Howard's Simon Helberg rotating collection of attention-grabbing belt buckles was more than just a fashion choice, it was a window into his personality. Each episode brought a new design that perfectly reflected either the story's theme or Howard's state of mind. Even as Howard matured from creepy wannabe ladies' man to devoted husband and father, his belt buckles remained as a reminder of his unchanging quirkiness. They were like little works of art that you had to pay attention to catch, rewarding observant viewers with extra bits of humor and character insight. Nobody played the average person reacting to genius-level discussions better than Penny. Her perfectly timed "what the hell" reactions became the voice of the audience, expressing exactly what we were thinking when the guys went off on their scientific tangents. But what made these moments truly special was watching them evolve throughout the series. Early on, they were simple expressions of bewilderment, but as Penny grew more familiar with the guy's world, her reactions became more nuanced and knowing.